The Amish live without refrigerators and rely on time-tested food hacks to cook, preserve, and make the most of every ingredient.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Buck Whitaker, and today we're diving into 30 Amish food hacks you'll wish you had known before ruining your breakfast. Did you know that your brand new mortar and pestle could be filling your food with tiny bits of stone dust? They also use a simple water trick to test eggs. If it floats, throw it out immediately. Tune in, because what you're about to learn next could change the way you cook forever. Hack 1. Season your mortar and pestle the right way. You just bought a brand new mortar and pestle ready to grind up some spices. If you don't prep it first, you'll be seasoning your food with tiny bits of stone dust. Ensuring a clean start will make all the difference in your culinary experience. But what if I told you that skipping this crucial step could ruin not just your dish, but your entire perception of flavor itself? The Amish have a simple fix. Grind up dry rice into a fine powder, toss in a little salt, and then rinse it thoroughly. This method removes any leftover stone particles and factory residue that could interfere with flavors. This process, though seemingly minor, ensures a clean and reliable grinding tool that won't alter the taste of your spices or herbs. Preparing a mortar and pestle for long-term use takes just a little effort. After grinding dry rice and salt, rinse it well under running water and let it dry completely. Avoid using soap, as it may leave a residue that lingers and affects future grinding. The key is repetition. Grind, rinse, and repeat until the powder remains pure white. The seasoning process is comparable to breaking in a new cast iron skillet. The more care and preparation put in initially, the better the results over time. This ensures that every ingredient used in the mortar and pestle will taste precisely as intended without any unwanted grit or off-putting flavors. A new mortar and pestle are great, but if you don't prep them right, your spices might have an unwanted crunch. Hack 2. The floating egg test. Ever cracked an egg only to get hit with an overwhelming sulfuric odor? The Amish have a straightforward way to check egg freshness before it ruins a meal or recipe. Freshness is critical for baking, breakfast dishes, or any meal requiring eggs. Place an egg in a bowl of water. If it sinks and lays flat, it is fresh. If it stands upright, it should be used as soon as possible. If it floats, discard it immediately. The science behind this trick is simple. As eggs age, the air pocket inside them grows larger due to moisture loss, making them buoyant. The larger the air pocket, the older the egg. Beyond this floating test, storing eggs properly ensures their longevity. Keeping eggs in their original carton helps prevent them from absorbing strong odors from the refrigerator. Storing eggs with the pointed end down helps keep the yolk centered, preserving its quality. The Amish rely on fresh, home-raised eggs, but for those purchasing from the store, checking expiration dates and using this floating test eliminates any guesswork about freshness. Not sure if an egg is fresh? There's a quick way to find out before you crack it. Hack 3. Keep herbs fresh like a pro. Fresh herbs elevate the flavor of any dish, but they spoil quickly if not stored correctly. The Amish use an effective method to keep herbs fresh for longer periods, mimicking the way flowers are preserved. Place fresh herbs in a glass or jar with an inch or two of water, much like a bouquet. Loosely cover them with a plastic bag and store them in the refrigerator. Every few days, trim the stems slightly and replace the water. This keeps the herbs hydrated and prevents them from wilting prematurely. Herbs like parsley, cilantro, and basil thrive with this treatment, retaining their vibrant color and aroma. For herbs that do not store well in water, drying is an alternative. Bundling herbs and hanging them upside down in a dry, well-ventilated area allows them to retain their essential oils. Once fully dried, they can be stored in airtight containers for months. The Amish often utilize this method for long-term storage of seasonal herbs, regardless of whether fresh or dried herbs are preferred. Proper storage techniques ensure that the flavors remain intact for future use. Fresh herbs go bad fast, but this trick keeps them fresh much longer. Hack 4. Keep cookies fresh with tissue paper. You made a big batch of cookies, but 2 days later they taste like cardboard. The Amish use tissue paper, regular old tissue paper, to absorb excess moisture and keep cookies soft. Just layer it between cookies and they'll stay bakery fresh. If you don't have tissue paper, try placing a slice of bread in the container. The cookies will steal the moisture from the bread and stay soft while the bread dries out. This hack works wonders for brownies and cakes too, making them last longer without getting stale. This trick is like putting your cookies in a mini spa treatment, with moisture control at its finest. And honestly, it's a win-win. If the bread dries out, just toast it and slather on some butter. Nothing goes to waste in an Amish kitchen. Hack 5. Add salt to overcooked coffee to reduce bitterness. So you got distracted scrolling through cat videos and overbrewed your coffee. We've all been there. Instead of tossing it, do what the Amish do, add a pinch of salt to cut the bitterness. It neutralizes the harshness and makes your coffee smooth again. If you're feeling extra fancy, try adding cinnamon or a tiny drop of vanilla extract for an added flavor boost. Cinnamon gives your coffee an aromatic warmth, while vanilla enhances its natural sweetness without extra sugar. It's like giving your coffee a second chance at life. One tiny pinch of salt and suddenly that disaster brew transforms into something drinkable, maybe even enjoyable. And hey, if you're feeling wild, add a splash of heavy cream for that old-school Amish richness. So your coffee got a second chance at life, but what about that tough-as-leather steak sitting in your fridge? If your dinner plans involve chewing for an eternity, don't panic. The Amish have a secret for that too: vinegar to the rescue. Just like salt rescues bitter coffee, vinegar rescues tough meat, breaking down those stubborn fibers and turning your jaw workout into a melt-in-your-mouth masterpiece. Hack 6. Marinate tough meat in vinegar and broth. Got a steak that chews like a rubber tire? No worries. The Amish tenderize tough meat by marinating it in vinegar and broth for a few hours. The acidity breaks down tough fibers, making it melt in your mouth delicious. For even better results, add crushed garlic or mustard to your marinade to infuse even more flavor into your meat. The vinegar also helps lock in moisture, ensuring your meat remains juicy after cooking. For those who love experimenting, a little apple cider vinegar can add an extra layer of tangy complexity to the dish. Think of vinegar like that friend who always knows how to break the ice at awkward gatherings. It relaxes everything and makes it all smoother. Your meat deserves the same treatment. Hack 7. Cut onions lengthwise to reduce tears. Tired of crying like you just finished a sad movie every time you cut onions? The Amish cut them lengthwise instead of crosswise. This releases fewer irritants so you can finally chop without looking like you just got dumped. Want another hack? Stick your onions in the fridge for 30 minutes before cutting them. Cold onions release fewer tear-inducing chemicals. You can also use a sharp knife to minimize cell damage and reduce the amount of onion fumes released into the air. Honestly, this is life-changing. No more dramatic, mascara-ruining onion sessions. Just smooth, effortless chopping like a pro. Hack 8. Use salt and cold water for easy egg peeling. Peeling boiled eggs shouldn't feel like a battle. The Amish add a pinch of salt and dunk eggs in ice water right after boiling. The shells slide off like magic, no frustratus ion required. If you're making deviled eggs, shake them in a container with a little water before peeling. It loosens the shell in seconds. Now that peeling eggs is officially stress-free, let's talk about something else that shouldn't be rushed: your soup. Just like dunking eggs in ice water keeps them from falling apart, simmering your soup keeps the flavors from running wild. Hack 9. Simmer soups and stews instead of boiling. Patience, my friend. The Amish know that low and slow wins the race when it comes to soups and stews. Simmering instead of boiling lets flavors meld beautifully, giving you a richer, more delicious dish. Hack 10. Add a pinch of sugar to tomato-based dishes to balance acidity. Ever made spaghetti sauce and felt like you just bit into a sour lemon? The Amish fix that with a pinch of sugar, just enough to balance the acidity without making it sweet. It's like a tiny sprinkle of magic. And there you have it, 10 game-changing Amish food hacks that'll make you a kitchen legend. Hack 11. Toast spices before using to enhance flavor. Want to unlock maximum spice potential? The Amish lightly toast their spices in a dry pan before using them. Heating spices releases their essential oils, making them more aromatic and flavorful in any dish. It's like waking them up from a long nap. Suddenly they're bursting with flavor and ready to party in your pot. The difference is night and day. A toasted cumin seed smells warm and nutty, while a untoasted one just smells like, well, dust. Give your spices the spa treatment and your dishes will thank you. Plus, your kitchen will smell divine, like a spice market straight out of a fairy tale. Hack 12. Add an ice cube to burger patties to keep them juicy. Nobody likes a dry burger. You take one bite and it's like chewing on an old boot. The Amish have a genius trick. Tuck an ice cube into the center of the patty before grilling. As the meat cooks, the ice melts, infusing the burger with moisture and preventing it from drying out. Think of this as giving your burger a built-in hydration plan. The result? A juicy, flavorful patty that doesn't turn into a hockey puck on the grill. Bonus tip, use a flavored ice cube, maybe beef broth or a little Worcestershire sauce to add even more depth to your burger's taste. It's like a little surprise package of flavor hiding inside your burger, waiting to be unwrapped with every bite. Hack 13. Mix pickle juice into potato salad for extra flavor. Amish potato salad isn't just potatoes, mayo, and mustard, it has a secret weapon: pickle juice. Instead of making a bland, heavy potato salad, they mix in a little briny goodness. The acidity cuts through the richness and adds a tangy kick, making each bite more flavorful. It's like a surprise party for your taste buds. And if you don't have pickle juice, try apple cider vinegar or even a splash of lemon juice. Anything acidic can help brighten up your salad and keep it from tasting like mashed potatoes in disguise. You'll have people begging for your potato salad recipe at every picnic and potluck. Hack 14. Soak onions in cold water to reduce sharpness. Raw onions are great until they're not. That fiery, tear-inducing bite can overpower everything else in your dish. The Amish solve this by soaking sliced onions in cold water for about 10 minutes before using them. This milds out the sharpness while keeping all the crisp, fresh onion flavor. It's like sending your onions to a meditation retreat. Suddenly, they come back calm, relaxed, and much easier to be around. Use this trick for salads, sandwiches, or any dish where you want onions without the aggressive bite. No more burning tongues or surprise onion breath ruining your conversations. Hack 15. Use vodka in pie dough for a flakier crust. Want your pie crust to be light, crispy, and as flaky as your unreliable friend who always cancels plans? Swap half the water in your dough recipe for vodka. The alcohol evaporates faster than water during baking, which means less gluten formation and a perfectly tender crust. The Amish figured out this little science trick long before modern chefs caught on, and don't worry, your pie won't taste like a cocktail. The alcohol completely cooks out, leaving behind nothing but that signature crispy, melt-in-your-mouth texture. So go ahead. Spike your pie, no judgment here. In fact, you might want to make two because people will be fighting over that last slice. Hack 16. Use bacon grease for frying and seasoning. If you're throwing away bacon grease, you're basically tossing liquid gold down the drain. The Amish know better. They save bacon grease and use it to fry eggs, saute vegetables, or even season a cast iron skillet. It adds a rich, smoky depth of flavor to anything you cook. Plus, it's a genius way to get more use out of something you were already cooking. Why let all that deliciousness go to waste when you can infuse your food with a little extra magic? Your eggs will never be the same again, trust me. Now that we've unlocked the secret to next-level flavor with bacon grease, let's talk about something that could use a little extra love. Your salad. Because let's be real, after frying everything in bacon fat, you'll probably want to pretend you eat salad too. Hack 17. Use a wet paper towel to keep salad fresh. Nothing's worse than opening the fridge to find your lettuce looking sad and wilted. The Amish use a simple trick to keep salad crisp. Place a wet paper towel over it before storing it in the fridge. The moisture helps prevent the greens from drying out, keeping them fresh for much longer. Think of it as giving your salad a little hydration therapy. It works wonders, and you'll never have to eat limp, lifeless lettuce again. Plus, you'll actually enjoy eating a salad instead of feeling like you're munching on week-old grass. Hack 18. Add mayonnaise to scrambled eggs for extra fluffiness. This one might sound strange, but trust us, a dollop of mayo in scrambled eggs makes them incredibly creamy and fluffy. The oil in the mayo helps the eggs stay soft, while the vinegar enhances their natural flavor. If you've ever wondered how diner-style scrambled eggs get that perfect silky texture, this is the secret. Give it a try, and you'll never go back to plain eggs again. Just don't tell anyone the secret, or you'll have to start making breakfast for the whole neighborhood. Hack 19. Grease baking pans with sugar for a caramelized crust. Greasing a pan with butter or flour? That's old news. The Amish grease baking pans with sugar to create a crisp, caramelized crust on cakes and muffins. As the sugar melts, it forms a thin, golden layer that adds a hint of sweetness and crunch to the edges of your baked goods. Think of it as giving your cake a secret bonus layer. Your guests will wonder why your desserts taste extra special, and you can just smile and pretend it's magic. No one has to know how easy it really was. Hack 20. Stir egg yolk into mashed potatoes for a creamier texture. Mashed potatoes should be creamy, dreamy, and smooth, not a dry, lumpy mess. The Amish add a raw egg yolk to their potatoes just before serving. The residual heat cooks the yolk slightly, adding extra richness and an unbelievably smooth texture. It's a simple trick that takes your mashed potatoes to the next level. Try it once, and you'll wonder why you didn't start doing it sooner. You might even have to make extra because once people taste them, they'll be demanding seconds and thirds. Hack 21. Add apple cider vinegar to beans for better digestion. Beans are a fantastic source of protein and fiber, but let's be honest, they also have a sneaky way of causing, let's call it musical side effects. The Amish have a simple trick to keep your stomach from staging a full-blown protest. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar while cooking beans. The acidity helps break down the complex sugars that cause bloating and gas, making beans easier to digest. Plus, apple cider vinegar enhances the flavor, giving your dish a subtle, tangy depth. So the next time you cook up a pot of beans, remember, a little vinegar now saves you a whole lot of awkwardness later. It's a tiny price to pay for enjoying a hearty meal without feeling like a human balloon afterward. Hack 22. Use cast iron for perfect pancakes. Ever wonder why restaurant pancakes are so fluffy and golden, while homemade ones are either undercooked or burnt to a crisp? The Amish swear by cast iron skillets for consistently perfect pancakes. Cast iron holds heat evenly, preventing that tragic light in the middle, burnt on the edges disasters. Plus, a well-seasoned skillet adds an unbeatable, slightly crispy texture to the edges. If you're still using a non-stick pan, you're missing out on pancake greatness. Bonus tip: rub a little bacon grease in the skillet for next-level flavor. It's breakfast magic. Not only do cast iron pans distribute heat beautifully, but they also develop their own non-stick surface over time. That means your pancakes will slide off like a dream, and you won't have to wrestle with stubborn batter remnants. It's the kind of tool that rewards patience. With every use, it gets better, just like a fine friendship. Treat it right, and it will never let you down. Hack 23. Can fresh fruits and vegetables for long-term storage. Canning might sound like something only grandmas do, but trust the Amish, home-canned produce beats store-bought every time. By preserving fruits and veggies in jars, you lock in their peak flavor and nutrition, avoiding all those weird preservatives found in store-bought versions. Plus, nothing beats the satisfaction of opening a jar of summer-fresh peaches in the dead of winter. It's like bottling sunshine. If you've never canned before, start with something simple, like pickles or applesauce. Your future self will thank you when you're enjoying garden-fresh flavors year-round. And let's not forget that homemade canned goods make incredible gifts. Nothing says "I care" like a beautifully sealed jar of hand-preserved berries. Hack 24. Preserve meat with salt. Before refrigeration, the Amish mastered the art of preserving meat with salt. This simple yet effective method draws out moisture, preventing bacterial growth and keeping meat fresh for months. Think of it as nature's version of vacuum sealing. Whether you're making jerky or curing bacon, salt not only extends shelf life but also enhances flavor. If you've ever wondered why old-fashioned country ham tastes so incredible, now you know it's the salt cure working its magic. And let's be honest, there's something deeply satisfying about preserving your own meat. It's like stepping back in time and tapping into age-old culinary wisdom. Plus, homemade salt-cured meat tastes far better than anything you'll find in the grocery store. It's richer, more flavorful, and lets you control exactly what goes into it. Hack 25. Use honey to preserve fruit naturally. Sugar is the usual go-to for preserving fruit, but the Amish prefer a more natural alternative, honey. Honey's antibacterial properties help keep fruit fresh, while its natural sweetness enhances the flavor. Simply submerge sliced fruit in a mixture of honey and water, and you've got yourself a preservative-free, Amish-approved treat. The best part, that leftover honey takes on a fruity essence, making it perfect for drizzling over pancakes, yogurt, or biscuits. No waste, just pure deliciousness. Think of honey as nature's version of a time capsule. It locks in the fruit's freshness, allowing you to enjoy summer's bounty long after the season is past. Plus, honey is loaded with beneficial enzymes and antioxidants, giving you an extra health boost along with that sweet flavor. Hack 26. Ripened tomatoes in a brown paper bag. Few things are as disappointing as a rock-hard, flavorless tomato. Luckily, the Amish have a trick for speeding up the ripening process. Place unripe tomatoes in a brown paper bag with a banana. The banana releases ethylene gas, a natural ripening agent, helping your tomatoes reach their peak faster. It's like giving them a little pep talk. You've got this. You're almost ready to be the star of the salad. Before you know it, you'll have juicy, flavorful tomatoes ready to go. This trick is a total game changer if you've ever brought home tomatoes that looked ripe but tasted like cardboard. And the best part? It requires zero effort, just patience, and a little natural science. Hack 27. Keep dough from sticking with flour and oil. There's nothing worse than dough sticking to your hands, rolling pin, and countertop like a stage 5 clinger. The Amish solve this with a 1-2 punch of flour and oil. Lightly dusting flour prevents sticking, while a thin coat of oil on your hands makes kneading a breeze. No more fighting with stubborn dough, just smooth, easy to work with goodness. Your homemade bread, biscuits, and pastries will thank you. And let's be real, kneading dough should be a calming, almost meditative experience, not a battle of wills. Using flour and oil means you get to enjoy the process rather than scrape sticky bits off your fingers for an hour afterward. Hack the 28. Save onion skins for broth to enhance flavor. Most people toss onion skins in the trash without a second thought, but the Amish know better. Onion skins are packed with flavor and nutrients, making them a secret weapon for homemade broth. Next time you're making super stock, toss in a handful of onion skins. They add a rich, deep color and an extra boost of umami goodness. Plus, they're loaded with antioxidants, so you're getting a health bonus while elevating your broth game. Waste less, flavor more. Hack 29. Soak rice before cooking for fluffier grains. Rice can be a tricky beast, too dry, too mushy, too sticky. The Amish have a simple trick to get it just right. Soak rice in water for 30 minutes before cooking. This allows the grains to absorb moisture, reducing cooking time and resulting in softer, fluffier rice. It's the difference between sad, clumpy rice and light, restaurant-quality grains. Give it a try and your rice dishes will never be the same again. Hack 30. Use honey and apple cider vinegar for cough relief. Forget artificial cough syrups loaded with mystery ingredients. The Amish rely on honey and apple cider vinegar, a natural remedy that soothes throats and kicks coughs to the curb. Honey coats the throat, reducing irritation, while apple cider vinegar helps break up mucus. Mix a tablespoon of each in warm water, sip slowly, and feel the relief. It's like giving your throat a warm hug. Plus, it actually tastes good, unlike those awful store-bought cough syrups that make you question all of your life choices. And that's a wrap on 30 incredible Amish food hacks. These simple yet brilliant tricks prove that sometimes old-fashioned methods are the best. Which hack are you most excited to try? Or do you have a go-to kitchen secret of your own? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear them.